Okay.
This is Dr. Chris's Film Dungeon Commentary,
Okay.
here part of the Radio of Horror channel, and joining me tonight in this COVID-19 quarantine movie, I have with me Amanda McKnight. Say hello to everyone, Amanda.
Hi there. Hey, hello everybody.
Amanda is a model, journalist, and board game aficionado, and a big fan of the character Vampirella, just like me. In fact, on her channel, you can check out a
Yeah.
huge review that she did of the top 10 things you didn't know about Vampirella, which came out last year. What was that channel again, Amanda?
That's on Top 10 Nerds. That's the channel I am a host for.
Correct. And back in the 90s, I believe, 1996, so a year after Mortal Kombat came out, Atalia Soto, who played Princess Katana in Mortal Kombat, would star in the Showtime original movie, co-starring Roger Daltrey, yes, Roger Daltrey of The Who, and if you listen to my podcast, the Dead TV podcast, he actually just played a priest on Witchblade, so he's got a couple comic book credits under his name. In this movie,
Wow.
he plays Dracula of the planet Draculon. Draculon.
Draculon.
Draculon. But we're gonna get into some of the stuff they got wrong in the movie as we go along with it. If you like to follow this review along with the film, if you happen to have a copy of the film, make sure the film's marker is at 000, just before the studio logo is creeping up just like a sunrise. Otherwise, you can listen to it independently of itself, but it will be an extra long commentary. If you're on YouTube looking for the movie, this is not the movie. And we're going to start it now.
All right, here we go.
Sunrise
Doo-doo-doo.
Films International. Now, did you know that this movie has a close personal relationship with one Roger Corman?
I did not.
Yes. Roger Corman's footage from a certain film called Galaxy of Terror is used in all of the sci-fi stuff of this movie. Galaxy of Terror is the
Okay.
movie where the woman is raped by the giant cockroach monster.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, you know, women empowerment at its best.
Yeah. You go. You get assaulted by those cockroaches, ladies.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen probably the cover for Galaxy of Terror, right? It's got a woman whose clothes are all ripped up, her breasts are hugely ridiculous, and she has a giant alien-looking bat-wing cockroach thing about to touch her.
Assault her. Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that before. Oh, my goodness.
And right off the bat, we have
This was more empowering than that, but I mean, it'll probably go both ways.
did you know they filmed this movie at a mall?
They did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you can kind of see that. This is a very futuristic looking mall though for the 90s.
Right, definitely. Again, Talia Soto would play Princess Katana in both terrible. I'm sorry, one good, one not so bad, one absolutely terrible Mortal Kombat movie.
Great.
She's 53 years old today, and the last thing she was in 2013. She was in Elysium with Matt Damon.
Wow. All these random things that people are in.
One of my favorite roles of hers was in the movie Spy Hard. She plays a seductress villainess in a hotel room trying to kill Leslie Nielsen.
Great.
Oh, Jerry Girani wrote that? I know Jerry. Gary. He lives in Rhode Island. He's actually been on my radio show, and he's in my book that is forthcoming, The New England Horror Filmmakers, all about filmmakers who made their movies here in New England.
Oh wow.
Roger Daltrey, look at him with those awesome fangs
Oh,
in his
wow.
mouth. He just
Whoa,
jumped
look at
up.
that jump. That's I mean, you know.
Okay.
Okay, all right, relax. Don't worry. Just because I'm jumping, don't get all antsy here.
Amanda,
What are those hats that they're wearing? Oh my goodness.
would you like to educate the audience about what the incorrectness of Dracula being at the beginning of this movie on Vampirella's planet is?
Yeah, well, I mean, Dracula is supposed to already be on Earth at this point, isn't he? Like the whole idea, my understanding of Vampirella, obviously I haven't read everything, but is that Dracula is this huge foe of Vampirella's, and the whole part of that is that Dracula is this like evil vampire, and all the vampires that came from him on planet Earth, that's why they're evil, because they all come from Dracula. So he's like this big evil Draculon. Draculon? Do we still call them Draculon if they're from Draculon? Draculonian maybe? I don't know the proper term is there. So yeah, he should already be gone, especially if she's here. That doesn't really make any sense, but guess we'll see.
It's all about like passing judgment on Dracula too. Who's, by the way, the fangs in this movie
Yeah.
are absolutely terrible. Me and you could go to a custom fang maker and get better looking fangs than they could here in this Hollywood production.
I have 3 different pairs of fangs that are better than these fangs for sure, already in my collection. Oh my goodness. So I guess he's gonna. Oh my! I was not expecting that.
Those are some awesome space age effects there.
Oh yeah, look at that. They're shooting them. They're shooting them with lights. Oh, I didn't even see a bullet hit him, but he just died.
I don't know who the 2 henchmen are, but the woman in the middle, she is a former Playboy Playmate of the Year named Karina Haney. If you'd like to Google her, you can. She is absolutely beautiful, and she was Playmate of the Month the year prior.
Oh, that's cool. I was going to say, she looks familiar.
The way he just, like, flew over there.
Also, like, these sound effects are next level.
Now, one of Vampirella's creators actually makes an appearance in the movie at some point. I don't know who yet, but yeah, Forrest J. Ackerman.
Okay.
And as we know...
This is one of those things which would be beneficial when you would get to know, like, writers and artists' face, but I feel like that doesn't... Why isn't it on his mouth, though? What's happening with this blood?
Oh, it's not on his teeth, you mean?
Yeah, like, it's only on the side of his mouth. Those are some clean teeth for just sinking your teeth into someone. All right, well, guess we're out. Guess those guys are outie. Oh, no.
Okay, so something I gotta point out. The DVD, Talia is in the costume on the back and on the front cover, but she does not wear the costume in the movie. She wears something truly horrible. Yeah,
she wears like a totally different variation on a Vampirella look, if that's what we want to call it. I mean, really.
Angus Scrim, best known as the tall man from the Phantasm movies. He played High Elder. I guess he was in the background, or he's coming up. I didn't see him yet. Would you like to guess what the budget of the movie is without looking it up?
I'm gonna guess.
Okay, right here. That's Galaxy of Terror. That's Galaxy of Terror. And by the way, her fangs look better than everyone else's, but maybe because she was the star.
Yeah, they had to splurge on the premium fangs for Vampirella. I would say, if I had to guess, let's see, this is the 90s though too, so I have to also take that into account. I'm gonna say like maybe $10,000.
$1 million.
$1 million in the 90s?
Yep.
Is what they spent on this movie?
For SHowtime.
Wow. I mean, look at those costumes. Maybe that's probably where it all went.
Los Angeles, the present.
The present.
Now,
I guess that was the past?
If you've seen Los Angeles right now, as of the time we're recording this, oh boy, it looks like the Omega Man.
Yeah, it looks probably completely empty.
Okay, I don't know who this is. I have not seen this movie in 20 years, so I have to wait until the names are announced to figure out who they are. This might be Adam Van Helsing.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, who is a character from the comics.
Who is a character from the comics and is kind of a partners of Vampirella's.
Up until his neck was snapped.
Yeah. Well, and oh, he just went into a wardrobe? Okay. Guess we're going to Narnia.
Oh, they work. She teams up with a bunch of high-tech vampire hunters to hunt down Dracula. That's the plot of the movie.
Oh, okay. So he's definitely whoa. He didn't even know what was in that. All right.
And he's a good-looking guy. I could see Talia with him. And honestly, Talia does not look like a terrible Vampirella. I'm not concerned like her breasts are too small or something like that. She has this exotic look to her face, and I don't want Vampirella to be just like a white woman.
Yeah, you want her to have... I mean, she's from another planet, so we kind of want to have, like, an otherworldly look, I think, to her. And I think Vampirella always has to have something about her that feels like that it's drawing you in. Like there has to be some kind of mystery about her, whoever plays her. So I feel like she's going to be pretty good at the character. Now the script is the obviously I think the biggest hill here with this movie.
But yeah, Roger Corman's hands are all over this film. Kind of like another comic book movie that came out in the 90s, or actually never came out in the 90s. Do you know what the movie that was?
What movie was that?
Fantastic Four.
Oh, yes, Fantastic Four that never happened.
Or did it?
Well, I mean, it definitely happened. Do we get to see it? No. We were robbed.
Do you think that Disney would pay to release that? They own
No,
the Fantastic
I think Disney
Four.
wants to make something better. They aren't gonna. But I mean, I feel like actually, and here's what I'll say. I think that movie that we didn't get to see has the potential to maybe be one of the best Fantastic Fours that we've had, even though it looked pretty terrible in terms of like effects and stuff like that. Because we have had some pretty bad Fantastic Four movies, unfortunately.
Like trash bag wearing emo cyberpunk asshole Doctor Doom in the last one.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of it I think comes down to because people always say that what's happening with those movies is that it's just the script writing is bad, blah blah blah, like, and that it's a cursed franchise. And I don't think Fantastic Four is a cursed franchise. I just think a lot of the people that are making those movies don't care about Fantastic Four, don't understand the importance of Fantastic Four.
Here she is.
Oh, kapow! Here I am.
By the way, that TV has to be. I mean, sorry, that computer has to be completely hollow for that kid to be like moving it around like the way he is.
Yeah.
What do you think is a worse scene? Them about to assault Vampirella, or the two guys who were trying to assault Supergirl in the movie Supergirl?
I think Supergirl's worse.
Yeah, because they lift up her skirt, very uncomfortable touching.
Yeah, right? They don't get to do that with Vampirella. They're like, we're gonna sell you, and she's like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I love
they with like the smallest knife in the world.
Right.
Like we have this very mini dagger. I love how she's saving a nerd.
Corey Ackerman. Gee, who could he be related to? Her hair is awesome, by the way.
Her hair is awesome.
Wow, look at his wall. It's the best and worst of sci-fi. Hey, Mom, don't come upstairs. I got this, like, prostitute upstairs with me.
Just got a random lady I met on the street. I love that, oh, what is that? Oh.
Star chart. And right in front of her is a statue of, right there, the head. That's, isn't that the robot from Metropolis?
Yeah, looks like.
And then up to the left, isn't that the robot from The Day the Earth Stood Still? Not him.
Absolutely.
Well, on the mantle, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Gort? What was his name?
Right
there.
Oh.
Do you think that's her real hair too?
Yeah, I think that's her real hair.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know actually. I don't know.
Is
it a wig?
Big.
You know what? The bottoms of it make me think it looks like it might be a wig.
Right.
I always find it weird when hair looks like it's hanging in a way that it's like I feel like with some wigs you can tell because the hair looks like it's hanging, like it's almost not attached to someone. I don't know how to describe what is really happening there. Yeah, that's definitely a wig. I can tell from the way her hair is oddly curved to one side.
How do you feel Vampirella should be cast if she was cast today? Should she be cast like Wonder Woman, where body images don't really matter? Because a lot of people complain about Gal Gadot having a very small bust line for Wonder Woman, but Vampirella is very well known for being an extremely busty character. Would that make a difference for you as a woman?
I don't think that makes a difference. I think it's more about, like, can you tap into, like, I think Gal Gadot is so good as Wonder Woman, and the reason why, like, people were maybe initially concerned and then really came to enjoy what she did with the role was because she brings something to the character that is both unique while also paying tribute to that character in a way that I feel like a lot of fans like felt was true to the character. So I think if similarly to Vampirella, if we had someone that was playing her, it should be someone who is, like I think you want to have someone that's very sassy, who like just calls the shots, but who also and is empowering, but who also like has something about them that draws you in that's different, and that thing can be different for whoever would play Vampirella. So I don't think there's even like one person that could play her. Like I think we have a lot of options for who could play Vampirella. Who would you want to see as Vampirella? Do you have like an actress in mind today that you think would be good to play her if they remade? I mean, maybe not remade this movie, but just made a different movie.
Okay, if we're going, there you go. Got the first base.
My. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, in DC
You're
Comics,
welcome.
if you know anything about the character Starfire, that's how she learns to speak their language.
That's true. Well, I mean, the thing about Vampirella is that Vampirella, like on her planet, he's so happy. On her planet, that would be like totally normal for her to probably just like straight up kiss someone. Like there's such a free loving planet, Draculon. Very different from our culture, just like Starfire actually, who also comes from quite a different planet in terms of their approach to sexuality.
So to answer your question, I think they would have to go with somebody incredibly unknown. If they were going to go with like a real actress, it's like I would want to say maybe the actress who plays Veronica on Riverdale definitely has the look in her face. She's extremely beautiful, but she's also very, very short in real life, and that might be her a slight against her. I know they have Tom Cruise stand on milk crates and all that crap, but I don't want it to be fake that she's supposed to be taller than she actually is. But I think she has the look. She absolutely has the body. I mean, on Riverdale, every 5 minutes she's taking her clothes off. And I think she's got the attitude. But not only that, again, she's got this erotic, I almost said erotic, but erotic is an okay word with the Vampirella, exotic look to her face, which is exactly what you need. But I also think they could definitely do a casting call for unknown actresses. And they got to be tall. I definitely think they got to be tall. I don't care what the hair color is. Should they be white? Not necessarily. I think you need to go with somebody with like Hawaiian or Hispanic features. You know, Talia Soto is, I believe, Asian, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want a white girl. But I wouldn't mind it as long as she doesn't have just your typical white girl look, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, she can't look. I think the thing is that she can't look ordinary, right? Like you need someone that looks extraordinary to play Vampirella, because she's such like I mean, like what do you think of what they're doing? Have you seen any of the have you read any of her new series that's out right now with Dynamite?
I'm reading Vengeance of Vampirella, which issue 6 was the final issue to come out before distribution has stopped. But I contacted Tom. Shoot, I forgot his last name again. But he's the writer of Vengeance of Vampirella. He was the writer of Vengeance of Vampirella in the 90s. In fact, he was the guy who killed off Adam. He said, "I'm still writing it. We still have we have at least 2 books in the can, Chris. So don't worry, it's definitely going to continue. It's just on hold." So.
Okay.
So I'm that's the book I read. I don't read the normal Vampirella book, just Vampirella period.
Yeah. Because the thing that Vengeance of Vampirella is the same thing, I think.
Hold on, Amanda. There's some feedback. Okay, go ahead.
How do you feel about the way that they're drawing her?
In the Vengeance book, I think it's a definite homage to the 90s book. If you look at the old 90s book, they had a couple different artists. One of them was actually Ed McGuinness in his early days before he even got Deadpool. But I always thought Vampirella's been drawn pretty well. I do like the second half of the Vampirella books that came out from Diamond that were actually written by Nancy Collins. And in my hand right now is the paperback novel that Dynamite put out. The first paperback book they ever did, and the first Vampirella paperback book that ever came out. It's 225 pages, and it's Vampirella goes to Earth looking for I'd have to read this whole thing, but she teams up with Pantha to fight Count Dracula.
That's Pantha's really good. Is Pantha in this movie?
No, this was just Vampirella and Adam.
Oh,
the hell
okay.
are they wearing? Giant, ugly gimp costumes?
Yes, that is the Draculon way. Why are they wearing these? Why do they have so many different costumes? Did they bring all these costumes with them?
Do they look better or worse than the costumes worn on Krypton by the security force?
Oh yeah, I don't know about that.
You know what I'm talking about,
right? Worse, though. Maybe it's like protect them from like the Earth's, I don't know, like from bacteria or something. I don't think that they have a sensitivity to it, but maybe they're worried that they might. Just in case.
Don't drink the cognac. Just in case. Just in case of what?
Just in case.
I love that.
Okay.
Wow, ponytail man.
Yep.
Who is lighting this room? You see the way the room is lit? Oh, yeah. Wow, very sexy.
This is a weird, it's like nighttime daylight. Yeah, what is happening? Oh.
Okay, there was no reason to take the coat off, but that's okay.
I know, I was just going to say that. Like, she comes in all dramatic in her coat, and then she's like, I'm not going to wear this coat anymore for no reason.
Have you ever watched the Supergirl television show?
Yes, I've seen parts of it, but I haven't, I'm not as ingrained in the CW Arrowverse as I should be. I haven't seen a lot of it.
Every time she rips open her shirt, all I can just say is go, breasts.
Breasts.
Because they have such an extreme... I know they're trying to do the close-up of the S-Shield.
Yeah,
It looks... I'm sorry, but when they don't do a close-up of Superman's S-Shield, they usually do it from a wide shot. But when they do a close-up of Melissa Benoist, it's rip open shirt, breasts.
Yeah,
C-cups.
Always. Like, oh my goodness.
Every time. And yeah, there are some people who just been like, oh, well, that's the way you see it because of your male gaze and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, that's the way I see it because I know something about cinematography and the way things are filmed. And if you ever see the way Superman does it, when the actor who plays Superman is on the show, they don't do an extreme close-up of his chest.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I think that you're definitely onto something there. I definitely noticed that when I watched the couple of episodes that I've seen. Also, can we just acknowledge how many hits Vampirella's just taking without, like he just, like, kicked and punched her in the face, and she was like, I'm good, like, shrugging it off.
Right.
And out he goes. Slow-mo.
Splat.
Bye. Yeah, he's probably dead. She just killed him.
Oh!
Oh, wow, she definitely killed him.
He got the point.
Never mind. That's where that $1 million went.
What the hell was that? Was that her bat form? She can't turn into a bat.
Oh my goodness.
Amanda, please explain to the audience what you explained in that YouTube video about her bat form.
Yeah, so she has wings. She has wings, but I don't think she quite turns into like a little flying asterisk bat or whatever the heck that was supposed to be. It's not. She has wings, so she normally just flies. And her wings are, like, I mean, obviously she doesn't have wings in this, but her wings are, like, usually just on her back, so you can usually even, like, see little, like, little remnants of her wings.
That reminds me of the old Kirk Allen Superman serials. Superman would turn into an animated character when he flies because they did not have the budget to make a man fly.
Yeah, yeah. Did she just drink? What did she just drink? Some blood? What does she keep in her armband? In her weird 90s armband pocket thing.
You know, I've always wondered why she wears the armband. Maybe it wasn't explained in, like, one issue, like it was a gift from something. So her multiple origins is something I wanted to go over while we were watching this movie. One of which, of course, she's from the planet, you know, she's an alien. One of which then she finds out that she is actually the daughter of Lilith, the mother of all demons, which is the Vengeance of Vampirella origin. And then her mother told her to go out and kill all my children because it's bad. I need to repent, and I'm going to be damned in hell forever until you do. And she's like, let me rescue you from hell, mother, and you'll go to heaven. And she's like, great, go do that. And then later on, her mother, they decided to tweak her origin again, and her mother actually was playing her up the whole time. So they drew her mother in this, like, kind of, very revealing costume, but not overly sexualized. She had, like, a robe on, and she felt very much pity for everything she did about bringing demons to Earth. When they redid her origin again in the early 2000s, I'd say this is probably around the time that Harris was about to go out of business. They made her mother into a horrible succubus demonic character that had tricked her daughter, and she'd been lying to her, and she'd basically been wiping out the competition. It was actually her brothers and sisters, not her children, and her mother was kind of a lesbian into her daughter, and they drew her with, like, the biggest freaking breasts in the world, and she was, like, insanely evil and still had that ridiculous stupid looking headdress on.
Yeah, just going all over the place. Yeah, she's had, like, so many different. I mean, I personally am a fan of her being an alien. I like her being from Draculon, and they're kind of being this other planet of creatures that we would think of as vampires, but really they're aliens from another planet. But yeah, she's had so many different origins. So she is also, and then I feel like some origins also try to, like, blend and be like both are true, which makes it even more confusing for people who are just getting into it. But the original origins for Vampirella was her Draculon origins. It's the original one. We were first introduced to her back when she was sort of what's the name of the other lady I'm thinking of, who is famous for also telling horror stories. Not Vampirella.
Vampira?
I can't remember her name. Pardon?
Vampira?
Elvira? Vampira, thank you, yes. For kind of having, like, a Vampira sort of set of things happening, or Tales from the Crypt Keeper, where she was sort of used to tell a bunch of different horror stories, but then we always got to see a little bit into what was going on with Vampirella, and then she became so popular she got her own series. When that was all happening, her first origins was that she was from Draculon, and she drank the blood of an astronaut who had crash landed there. And her planet, the resources were dying, and so she ended up using his ship to go back to Earth after realizing that there would probably be some food there. And then when she got to Earth, she met all these humans, and then it obviously gets more complex from there. And she kind of feels bad she doesn't want to, like, just kill people anymore, because she's like, oh, humans are pretty cool, and there's some really good humans, so I don't want to hurt them.
And of course, we have a musical number by Roger Daltrey.
Of course, because this movie would not be complete without that happening. I also love his makeup.
So Adam Van Helsing is played by Richard Joseph Paul, and he has a acting career going on to this very day. He was in something recently called The Primals. Primals. I'm not
Primals?
Primals, yeah. It's in post-production right now, so thankfully it got filmed before we had a breakdown of Hollywood. He was also on an episode of Gossip Girl, Law & Order Criminal Intent, Law & Order Special Victims Unit, Law & Order this, Law & Order that, everything to do with Law & Order, Beverly Hills 90210, Sex and the City, Diagnosis Murder, a whole bunch of stuff. Knight Rider 2010. He was in Revenge of the Nerds Part 2.
Oh, there you go.
Brian Bloom, who plays...
Oh, what's the face?
I lost it. Deimos. Is still acting today and does a lot of voiceover work in video games like Star Wars The Old Republic, Onslaught, Call of Duty, Wolfenstein, Youngblood. He actually... Oh my god, I didn't realize this. Brian Bloom is the voice of BJ Blazkowicz, the hero of the Wolfenstein video games. He's the guy that we have to thank for fighting the Nazis. In all of those video games. He has also been the Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's been Captain America, and he's been in StarCraft, and he was the voice of Hyperion on Avengers Assemble. The Disney
Oh, great.
continued. Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And he was the voice of Captain America on the Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes cartoon, which is the cartoon that preceded the Disney cartoon that was out from 2010 to 2012, and then was canceled because Disney bought Marvel. And then
Yeah.
Disney started their own Avenger cartoon, which ties closely more to the movies. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not as good as the Earth Mightiest Heroes cartoon, which ran for 52 episodes. And Jesus Christ, if you ever have a chance to watch it on Disney Plus. It's one of the best Marvel cartoons ever, and in my opinion, even better than X-Men the animated series.
Ooh, I mean, I don't think that you're wrong. I mean, X-Men animated series I think is the best just because of nostalgia factors. Like when you go back and rewatch that show, it's still great, but it's also so bad that it's great in some areas.
Right, definitely. Did you ever see
Yeah.
the other bad girl of the 90s animated movie, Lady Death?
Lady Death, I have not seen the animated series for it. There is an animated series for that?
I'm sorry, animated movie.
Oh, animated movie. Okay. That I can I was like, wow, a whole series.
No,
No, have not.
the animated movie Lady Death actually came out in the early to mid 2000s, around the time that Chaos Comics was going out of business, and it can easily be found on Amazon or eBay for a few bucks. It's out of print, but the DVD doesn't go for high demand.
Oh, okay. So you think it's something I'm assuming you think it's something that is worth watching. So I should grab a copy of it and give it a watch.
100% better than this movie. Also beautifully animated. I don't know the name of the animation studio. I want to say it's Madhouse, but I don't know. It's not Madhouse. I'm sorry. It's definitely not
Okay.
Madhouse. But if you watch the movie, you'll recognize the animation studio before you look it up. I highly recommend it. It's the Lady Death origin story to the T. It's not overly vulgar. It is violent. It's not overly like
Yeah.
cheesecake factor TNA.
Wow.
No, they actually do a good job. And yeah, she's in a fucking black bikini, for God's sake. So, I mean, but they don't make
That's
a
impressive.
ridiculous point of like, look, here's her tits every 5 minutes. No, it's not. It's not like that.
Yeah.
What the hell? That hit was
Oh.
terrible.
Jeez. But good job, Vampirella. But also, like, I love that Vampirella just goes around in her costume like
It ain't no thing.
it ain't no thing, and it's super like I'm super incognito here in my costume that like I'm the only person that wears this. And then now when she's going outside, she puts on a coat, but she doesn't put on like anything to disguise herself when she's in a bar with a bunch of Dracula's goons.
My favorite Vampirella artist is Amanda Connor.
Amanda Connor's amazing.
I have
Also,
every issue
that's
that she's
in general.
drawn signed by her.
Pardon?
I have every issue that Amanda did with her husband, Jimmy Palmiotti, signed by the both of them.
That's awesome. Yeah, Amanda Connor is just amazing. She also has done a lot of good things with Harley Quinn as well, right?
Yeah, she's
Amanda
been a
Connor's
cover
kind of
artist and
person-
writer for the book for a number of years.
Yeah, she was the one that was in charge when Harley Quinn kind of first broke off from the Joker, and so much of that stuff is amazing. And I think actually, I'm not sure if this is right, but I think the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey series that I'm reading is also Amanda Connor now.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
Amanda Connor allowed to do whatever the hell she wants because it's a
Yes.
mature content title.
Yes, because Black Label,
Right.
which I love.
But
So-
she did say that that does not mean we're gonna have Harley Quinn like naked and fucking.
No, well, because that doesn't need to happen. Because,
No.
and that's why Amanda Connor is also so good. She knows when to go places when it's like justified and when like you don't need to go there. So why are we gonna go there? I'm not just gonna go there for you to give you like sexy fan service. You know what I mean?
You want sexy fan service? Go on DeviantArt. There's plenty of pictures of naked Harley Quinn fucking.
Oh my goodness, exactly. We have so much fan art that you really don't need it to be in the comics. But that first issue of Harley Quinn and Birds in the Prey is so classic Harley Quinn. It's so good. I'm so sad the second issue got super delayed. I don't think we're supposed to have that till maybe June now.
Yeah,
May or
and
June.
and God only knows if it's going to come out because of the virus. But not what other great Batman book have we been waiting for 4 years for to finally come out that is coming out in June, but could be delayed again because of the virus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't even get me started on DC delays. We also are still waiting on the three
Oh,
Jokers. Been
that's
waiting
that.
on that for
Yeah, that's the book I was
years.
talking about. Yeah, that's the book I was talking about.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah, it's been years
I, I
and I it's definitely going to get delayed again.
I want to
100%.
point this out really quick because this episode is going to go up this week, people. Okay, so the week we're recording this episode, this commentary, this review, this long review of this ridiculous movie will go up. Marvel and DC are still going to be putting out their comic books on DC Universe and Marvel Unlimited and Comixology. My
Yeah.
recommendation is if you have to read the book because it's coming out and you want to stay up to date with the character and you don't want to wait for the brick and mortar stores to reopen, then do that. But please also go back and support your brick and mortar stores.
Yes, yeah. And also, like, don't be afraid to dip into digital if you're like, there's so many people I talk to that are so against digital comics, and I understand the love of paper, and I understand like the wanting to support the industry through the paper because that is how they make a lot of their money. Like, digital doesn't make as much money, but like, digital comics are still there, so don't be afraid to explore for the time being. You know what I mean? This is a good time to dip into digital for a bit before we all return to the world of paper. I read a lot of digital comics, so I'm like one of those people.
I only read digital comics on the library app because the library app does support the comic book industry. They do pay for those books. And Tim Seeley
I
highly
buy the
recommended the.
services that I can buy. So like I have Marvel Unlimited. If I could get DC in Canada, I would. So that's I do it through there. But I haven't bought anything through Comixology. I know there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of controversy around Comixology as to whether or not it's we should be using it or not.
Now, did you ever see Jim Wynorski, the director of this movie's other great productions such as The Lost Empire, Fire from Below, Camel Spiders, Shopping Mall?
No, I have not. But also that smile that Dracula just gave us was the best facial expression I've seen in this entire movie so far.
And do you know what comic book movie he directed just before this one?
What?
The Return of Swamp Thing.
Really?
Yeah, The Return of Swamp Thing, starring the late great the name is escaping me. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm sorry. Heather Locklear is in it. It's actually her very first movie. But playing
Wow.
Swamp Thing is Dick Durek, who played Swamp Thing in the Wes Craven movie and played
Yeah.
Swamp Thing in all 72 episodes of the USA Network television show. In fact, he held the record for the most number of appearances of a character of any comic book movie or TV series, beating even Lou Ferrigno's Incredible Hulk or George Reeves' Superman.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, or Adam West Batman, actually, because Batman only ran for like 60-something episodes.
Yeah, that's
and Dick Durek did 2 movies and 72 episodes of a television show. 72 episodes of Swamp Thing, people. DC did that long before they did the Derek Mears show, which they canceled after a season due to a lot of reasons you can read about online. We're not a Swamp Thing podcast, so there's plenty of information out there about why Swamp Thing was canceled on DC All Access.
I'm still so upset that the new Swamp Thing series that they tried to do didn't end up continuing. That series?
Yeah, the Derek Mears series.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that extension in his hair is horrible.
What is happening with his hair? Like, I'm kind of confused. Does he have like a side pony?
Is that a thing on her planet?
He didn't have it before, did he? Or was he hiding it from us? Oh, she got to take off her coat again. Time to fight.
Push me back. Oh, shove, push. I'm sorry, but images today have just come out of what Woody Harrelson's Carnage is going to look like. They're very kind of stilted images, but people are getting the general gist that Carnage does look like the way he does in the comics. But I swear to God, I better see Carnage impaling people and not pushing them around like in the old Spider-Man cartoon.
Well, I mean, I feel like that also happened in the old Spider-Man cartoon because we had to worry about censorship a lot more back in the day. So. I mean, I think what was Venom rated when it came out? Was it
PG-13?
It wasn't R, was it? PG-13, yeah. So that all really depends on what the studio wants to do with that rating, I think. The hard thing is that we just had the Birds of Prey movie come out, and that was an R rating and didn't do as well. But we've also seen Deadpool have an R rating and do amazing.
And
So I'm
Joker.
hoping that people don't give up on an R rating, because I also think Birds of Prey needed that. Yeah, and Joker, which had the R rating, because I also think there are movies that need that. And I think that it is definitely worth that rating, and it makes the movie better. Like I don't think even though Birds of Prey didn't do as well at the box office, it would have been as good of a film if it had been like a PG-13 rating. Because it's just not what that story is, right?
But
So,
Amanda, why did Puddin's movie do so much better than mine?
probably there are a lot of reasons.
And we're not going to get into them here.
Podcast on its own, let me tell you.
Yeah, that is a whole other podcast to get into why Birds of Prey failed.
Yeah, if you ever want to watch Birds of Prey and talk about it, though, I'm always down to talk about some Birds of Prey.
Okay, that was interesting. She looks away, she comes back, the contacts are in and out, but there was no cut.
Yeah, there was no cut. Well, they cut to him, I think, for a second.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a wig. I'm sorry. There's no way there is hair like that.
It's definitely a wig, yeah.
But it's very well done. It's beautiful because she's supposed to be a comic book character.
I mean, yeah, I would say it's like, other than the ends of it, like the top of her wig is very well styled, for sure. I mean, for the 90s, and I mean, $1 million. I still can't believe this is $1 million movie.
Did you know that, famous comic book character, actress Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, she wears a wig and everything, right? Because she's a natural blonde.
Yeah. I mean, and most people do now in movies. Like, a lot of movies that we see, people are wearing wigs, and part of that is because to even style your hair and do all of that to your hair every day is very hard on your natural hair. So most people wear wigs.
Is this Lilith?
I don't know.
Well, she's back on the planet. Oh, she's explaining where the gauntlet comes from. It's like Wonder Woman.
It is.
It is just like Wonder Woman, because don't forget, when she comes to the real world, when Wonder Woman comes to the man's world, I'm using quotations, but it was 1910, it was the man's world. She was like, what is wrong with what I'm wearing?
To handle it.
What was that?
She's giving her equipment to handle it too, just like in Wonder Woman.
And she's like, oh, I have to, don't forget, Steve's reaction to what her costume is very much like this. She's like, what's wrong with what I'm wearing? Yeah,
exactly.
Which, by the way, did you ever watch the old Justice League animated series, the one that preceded Batman and Superman?
Batman and Superman. I don't think. What year was it?
Justice League the animated series ran from 2001 to about 2006. This was the one that everyone praises.
I've seen some of it. I haven't seen that one, anyways. Is this the one before that one?
No. Okay, it's what is what one?
The one that you're talking about.
No, I am talking about the Justice League animated, part of the DC animated universe. Okay, so there's an episode where Gloria's Godfrey, who's this like tabloid television host that people love, who is just ragging on the Justice League, and he switches to Wonder Woman and says, I've seen cheerleaders with more modest than this woman, and then the next scene is the TV being smashed and Wonder Woman gritting her teeth and saying, and what's wrong with what I'm wearing? And flashing over at Green Lantern and goes, you want to handle this one? Because she's like, I'm going to go down to that station and kick that guy's ass. And Green Lantern's like, okay, listen, princess, I don't know how things work on Themyscira, but in America, you have a right to say what you want to say.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman's just like, you want to push me, green boy?
Yeah, she's like, I'll kick your butt. I mean, Wonder Woman would. Like, that's the thing. She would. Any Green Lantern, I think, if we're talking about, like, a versus fight.
Hey,
who would...
It's John Landis. It's director of American Werewolf in London, John Landis.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I had to get that before he disappeared.
Is that all we see of him?
Well, no, because they're in mission control. Because this is kind of like her origin. She comes to Earth in a capsule, but she also has like a life force origin. Because in the original comic book, like everyone aboard the spacecraft that she takes back to Earth dies, right?
Yeah, well, she finds the spacecraft and they've all like landed, and she basically finds like the water of her planet, which is our blood, which is like basically their H2O, their water there in their veins, and like drinks their blood, and that's how she like realizes. So she definitely kills, I think, all the people in that ship, or some of them might be dead already when she gets there.
I have to point
So
out
this whole thing of them taking her back is strange.
her and all the black couldn't look sexier. The black boots, the hair, the coat, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yet she keeps ditching her coats. Also, is she getting more coats, or is this the same coat as at the beginning?
Oh, she's like sorry, coronavirus. She's like Carol Danvers. She's just taking what she wants.
Apparently. I just feel like we keep seeing her take them off, but do we ever see her put them back on? Then we just cut to another shot where she's wearing them again. So, like, does she take them off and leave them where they fall? Because that's what it's looking like. But then she just keeps acquiring more.
Go on, Amanda. You preach that editing process.
It's definitely strange. I don't know if we've seen enough of her putting coats on for this to make sense. But I'm into it. If she's just stealing people's coats, I think it's fine.
This hotel room looks like every hotel room in every porno.
Yeah, it does. Especially every porno in the 90s. That's probably actually what was shot in that room before and after this movie.
Hey, it's Westworld. Here we are, Playboy Playmate of the Year again.
Also, what's with all the weird names of places in Nevada? Isn't also... Oh, no, never mind. I think that's New Mexico. But there's definitely a lot of weird stuff with weird names of places in that area.
What is with his tiny little cape? And then he's got... What's that around his neck?
Teeth?
Jesus Christ.
If it's the 90s, puka shells are very in. Late 90s, early 2000s, that was the time for those. Yeah, why is his cape so tiny?
That's what she said. Oh my God! I can't have you back on the show and not talk about the photo that you posted online of your own badass female comic book character that you dressed up as.
Oh, Red Sonja?
Oh my God! Do you look fucking amazing?
There were a lot of people that were like, "What are those socks you're wearing in that picture?" And I'm like, "One, they're Thor socks, so random boobs. So how dare you?" How dare you disrespect Thor? He needs to be in this picture with Red Sonja. But also, yeah, it's not completely finished yet. So there will be... Yeah. Okay. She's like, yeah, I'm just changing.
You know, she's comfortable with her body being in Playboy.
Yeah, of course.
But oh my God, you look...
that scene, though, they gave us nothing other than they were just like, just some boobs. Just gonna include... She's,
Okay.
She's a playmate.
So, when you wear that chainmail bikini, are you wearing something underneath the chainmail? You have to be, right? Because those pieces of metal would be cutting your...
No, actually, for chainmail bikinis, you don't wear anything under them. It is this is my first chainmail bikini that I've ever worn or commissioned or done anything with. And this was my first question to Yulia, who's Black Miss Clothing, who's making my outfit. And I was asking her about this, and I was like, so what do I wear underneath it? And she was like, nothing. And I was like, but doesn't it become uncomfortable? And she was like, you can wear it for a few hours, you'll be fine. She's like, obviously don't wear it all day. And she's like, but you can go to a con and walk around for hours and you'll be okay. But the weirdest thing is that then you're wearing a metal bikini loincloth, basically, right?
Right.
Is the thing. And I was like, what do I wear under that? And the answer is still you don't wear anything.
Okay.
So the trick is don't crawl around.
Right. Okay. Well, my only question is like, does the chainmail cover you up enough that you don't risk being exposed?
Anybody. Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, that's part of why I wanted to really that's why I wanted to do the caped Red Sonja look, just because I felt like it'd be more comfortable for coverage. And then if I'm, ever at a point in the day where I'm walking around a convention and I'm feeling like, I'm feeling kind of self-conscious or whatever, I can kind of use my cape to cover up more and like hold it around me. So that's kind of why I added the cape, actually, so I wouldn't have to worry too much about it.
Wow, that's crazy that you're, other than that metal and the boots, you're pretty much naked. That's
pretty much. Wow. Like, I mean, granted, everybody's naked under their clothes, but yeah, it feels weird to be wearing. I'm interested to see how it's going to feel when I go to my first convention with it, wearing my loincloth, a metal bikini and know that like this is what I'm just wearing a metal bikini. But in a lot of ways, it feels very empowering to wear. Like I feel like everyone should own a metal bikini. Like it's really fun to wear, and it makes you feel like I feel like a badass when I'm wearing it. I feel like I'm channeling when I as soon as I have all the weapons, and I think we're gonna add a belt to it as well. So I'll have a spot to put my weapons. I think it's gonna feel really cool to walk around in. Like I'm gonna feel like I could just defeat anyone that I come across. So I think yeah, it's been really good. And I think my next one that I'm gonna be working on is Madeline Pryor, Goblin Queen cosplay, and then after
Yes.
that I'm gonna be doing a Vampirella. So
Yes. Madeline Pryor is my
yes.
earliest memory of seeing a woman and understanding that I was straight.
And Madeline Pryor is going to be so cool now because we're going to have her coming back into the Dawn of X relaunch with Hellions whenever we actually get to really start that. Because apparently it was released, the date that they said was the 25th for that comic, but of March. But as far as I've heard, no one has it yet.
I have a copy.
Oh, do you? Did you? Your shop was still open, and so
Yeah,
they were able to get it in?
they were
Because
able
I
to get it
thought
in.
that I'm in closed distribution before I was able to get out.
Yep, they sent it out, but it will be available on Marvel Unlimited issues 1 and 2, 2 coming out next month.
Oh, okay. So it'll be available next month.
Yep.
So I just gotta wait a little bit. Okay,
Yep.
that's not too bad. I was hoping that it would be out on Marvel Unlimited soon because I know as well they tend to really post date a lot of their stuff on there because obviously they want to encourage people buying print first if you don't want to wait. But sometimes the wait time on those apps, that's the only thing that's can kind of be unfortunate is that you have to wait a while and sometimes it can be quite long. So I'm happy to hear that it'll be next month that I'll get to check it out because I'm very excited about Hellions.
Do you know?
What is
Do you
this
know the
gun?
two actresses that were supposed to be cast as Vampirella in this movie before Talia Soto was?
Who?
One of them was going to be Paula Abdul.
No way. Paula Abdul?
Yep.
That would be a very different Vampirella, I feel like.
Yep. Paula
But I don't
Abdul.
think I'd hate that.
No, I don't think I would either. I don't know anything about her acting. I mean, she can sing, but she has
I
that
feel like
look.
she's got a good look for Vampirella, though.
Right, right, right. And the other person was supposed to have been. Hold on, I almost had it. I'm sorry, I don't have it anymore. I thought I did.
Oh, no. I was going to say that gun that they have, is that a light gun? Is that like a light cannon?
It looks like it, doesn't it? Like those ones
Yeah.
from back then?
Yeah, back then, when they had those light cannons.
By the way, if you look up Vampirella on IMDb, other films that come up, K-Sex, Lost Empire, Transylvania Twisted Sisters.
Yeah.
When drop-dead gorgeous lesbian vampire Monique moves into the neighborhood and starts seducing every female she sees is up to it, Chip the cable guy and two detectives stop the fanged female fatale.
Wow. There's some good stuff out there.
You know you want to watch that one next.
I mean, why aren't we watching that right now? I also like their weird like stake gun that they just showed us, where he's like, "We got this gun. It looks like bullets, but secretly tiny, tiny stakes." I guess it's not the size of the stake.
One person on IMDb calls this a cheap version of Barbarella.
I mean, they're not wrong.
I didn't watch Barbarella when it first came out, but I watched it for the first time maybe like a decade ago. I could not believe the massive amount of sex in that movie back in the 70s.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it is Barbarella. She is a very insane character. You know what else we should watch? We should watch Stripperella as well.
The cartoon?
We should do all the Ellas, really. Yeah, the cartoon. I mean, there's also a movie, I think.
I didn't know if there was a movie, but I knew the cartoon was, of course, co-created by Marvel legend himself, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee, yes, it was. Stan Lee actually got sued for the creation of Stripperella by a stripper who. She apparently gave him a lap dance one time and said that. The lawsuit got resolved. So Phew.
Here, let me take my coat off again. She reminds me of Jacob from the Twilight movies every time he has to take his shirt off.
Oh my goodness. I feel like this movie needs like a coat counter. Also, is this the same hotel room, but they've just flipped it?
Possibly. The bed is different, though, because it was very white, and so were the curtains.
I feel like they just changed part of this room, and other than that, it's the same room.
Is this where they finally bang? Are they finally going to get it on? The sexual tension between the two of them the whole movie?
I don't know. I hope so.
I met her at a convention about 10 years ago, and I congratulated her for making this movie. And she put put her head on the table and then like looked up at me like with the biggest shooting grin on her face, laughing about it, saying, "I should pay you for, for having to sit through it."
Watching it.
I had her sign my copy of Mortal Kombat. She didn't have any Vampirella pictures on her table, unfortunately, but she had like all of like Princess Katana.
That's awesome.
You know, there's a Mortal Kombat animated movie coming out, right?
When is that coming out?
Later this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
In theaters?
No. No, but it's gonna be uber violent. It's gonna be like the origin of a Scorpion.
Oh, okay. That sounds awesome. So it'll be, where will people be able to see it?
I'm assuming it's gonna be direct to DVD, kind of like the animated DC movies that have come out.
Oh, okay. So the movie that I was thinking about for Stripperella, actually, I think is Barbed Wire.
Oh, right. Which, by the way, that came out from Shout Factory with the bonus material.
Yes, yeah. So Barbed Wire is the basically OG Stripperella.
Right. Yeah. In fact, she is a stripper in that movie, undercover, right?
Yeah, and it's also Pam Anderson as well.
Yeah, both characters.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she's an undercover stripper.
Oh
just
my!
Like
oh
my! Hello.
Is that the same Playboy? Whoa! There's another one behind him, dude. You were getting all of the ladies.
I think these are two different ladies.
Compared to the Playboy Playmate, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly got its R rating for those. It certainly got its R rating for those. For those shots.
Surprise! There you go.
Because the violence in this has been so minimal that it's like, no, they're gonna get the R rating because of breasts.
Yes, mostly it's been a lot of shoveling and floor wrestling.
Do you think we'll ever come to a time where breasts are no longer considered to be vulgar?
I'd like to hope so. I mean, I'd like to hope that there's a time where nudity doesn't have to be vulgar, like where there's like sort of two different types of nudity in movies, where it's like some nudity that you'd consider vulgar because of the context, or vulgar, like I guess maybe sexual is a better term for that, and
like
then some
barbed
movies
wire.
where it would, yeah, where it would not be considered that, because, yeah, I would hope so. Maybe one day.
Do you know what movie came out 25 years ago this year that it has a enormous amounts of sexualized breasts in it?
What movie?
Showgirls.
Showgirls? Oh, I haven't seen Showgirls.
Are you serious?
I have not.
Oh my god, you have to watch Showgirls.
Okay.
Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell, Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks, Gina Gershon from Everything We Love About Gina Gershon.
Yep. I'll have to add it. I like that they're back in these weird black outfits. Also, Vampirella's had that coat on and off so many times at this point. Does this guy have a full cape yet?
You should have taken a drink every time she did.
Oh, goodness. If you guys are watching this movie along with us and you take a drink every time she goes from coat to no coat, or no coat to coat, that's a lot of drinks already. Like, already in the last shot, she had her coat back on, but in the hotel, she had it off. We didn't see her put it back on. She just had it back on. And now she's here and she just steps out of that vehicle and has no coat. So we're also like not even seeing her take it off or on anymore. They've decided to completely cut that part.
Why do they look like what's left of Vegas from the Resident Evil Apocalypse movie?
Right. Just signs.
By the way, this week that you're listening to this review of Vampirella, Resident Evil 3, the remake, comes out for PlayStation 4.
There you go.
What better video game to come out while we're in this crisis?
I mean, so appropriate. I feel like they planned it.
That's a little cruel.
Don't get so holier than thou.
Oh, so she okay? Yeah, you're right. She does keep things in there. It's kind of like I've always wondered, like when you see like comic book characters wearing wrist bracelets and buckles and stuff like that. It's like, what are they keeping in there? You know, Batman does, but it's like the Punisher. He's got those things around his arm, or they finally revealed what the hell those things are in Han Solo's pocket. They're chargers for his weapon. I was like, oh.
I mean, but what does Cyclops have in all his pouches?
Pictures of every woman that he left at the altar or to die with their baby. Oh,
so just a bunch of pictures of basically Jean Grey.
Right, because he's got this thing for redheads, including.
But she looks like Jean Grey, so he could just have more pictures of Jean Grey in there, really.
Okay, I just gotta point something out. Wolverine was a member of the X-Men at the time Cyclops met Madeline Pryor. Wolverine met Madeline Pryor, right? Why couldn't Wolverine be like, "You smell like something I used to smell," you know, or whatever he would say?
Why couldn't he tell? You mean that she was a clone?
Right.
I don't know. There's a lot of theories though online as to why people couldn't tell that she was a clone. Because remember, even
she had shorter hair.
Xavier couldn't tell that she was a clone, which was a thing because she had mental blocks in place that I think Sinister gave her. So
well, actually, hold on. Actually, the thing about Xavier was, they said at no point does Charles Xavier meet Madeline Pryor before he is cloned from remnants of his brood body and given the use of his legs back, which could have altered his mutant powers. And then when Cable is born, Christopher Summers or Nathan Summers, it's the issue after he gets injured trying to protect Magneto and goes to space to get cured with the Alondra.
Well, I still think you can explain away a lot of the problems by just saying that Mr. Sinister did something to protect his investment there in that clone.
Right.
So a lot of my explanations when people are like, but why would that be like that? I'm like, I don't know. Mr. Sinister probably did something or created something or like thought of that might happen. So he wanted to like fail safe it. Because, you know, he's pretty good at plotting stuff all in all.
So I wanted to point out who the two...
Except when he makes plots where he literally like, I'm plotting this to lose.
The two vampire girls, by the way, the one in bed, the one that comes up behind Adam and kidnaps him, is Peggy Trentini, a 5'8" buxom blonde bombshell, as she's listed on IMDb, who basically plays the same kind of character in everything she's in. Animal Attraction, Virtual Desire. She was Amanda in Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, if you saw that.
Yeah.
So she's always playing... Oh, she was on Married with Children. She was in Ghoulies 4. So she's always been typecasted as busty blonde chick. Now, the other actress, Antonia Dorian, I remember her because she's been in several direct-to-video films such as Age of Dinosaurs. She was Trisha in Sorceress, and she was in the Bear Wench Project.
Was she the one that was on the couch?
Yes. I think so.
Okay. She was the one that I was like, I didn't recognize her, but
and she was also
like
in
a stunning lady.
She was also in the Witches of Brestwick, The Witches of Brestwick 2, Bear Wench the Final Chapter, The Da Vinci Coed, Vampires in Vegas, Lusty Busty Babes. So she's a porn star, which is okay, but
obviously she does both.
Have you ever seen the witchcraft movies? There's like 15 or 16 of them. They've been going on since 1988.
I have not seen the witch. Wait, I mean, I've seen a lot of witchcraft movies, but I'm not sure. I don't think we're talking about the same ones. in my
There's a
mind.
series
So
of films called Witchcraft. They always have on the cover a woman with her breasts spilling out over a pentagram, and that she's either by herself, she's with a man, or she's with another woman.
yeah.
And there's 14 or 15 of them having been produced since
Wow.
1988 to 2016.
I have not seen these movies. No.
Okay, well, get ready. The next thing we're doing.
Witchcraft.
No, but seriously, do yourself a favor. Go on YouTube, look up movie nights. The woman who hosts this movie nights, Lupa Presents, I think her name is. She's reviewed every single one of them. So if you want to at least check them out with her funny reviews of them, that's what I recommend.
All right.
Okay, so this reminds me of the Vampire Council from Blade, and this movie came out a year before Blade.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
2 years before Blade. I'm sorry, Blade came out in 1998. So this came out a year before a much worse comic book movie, Batman and Robin, but came out the same year as Steel and Spawn.
Weird.
If I have the dates wrong, people, just put it in the comment section below if I have the dates wrong. Don't at me.
Do you mind if we pause for a second?
The movie? We can't.
Okay.
So if you gotta go and do something, just run and come back.
All right, I'll be back in 1 second.
I love how he has a this relationship with God. He's wearing the God hat. He's got the God crucifix around his neck. Adam's dad, by the way. And he goes to church to pray to God. But his outfit is absolutely ridiculous. His beige kind of look to him just looks horrible. Some of the vampires that we saw on the council scene include big vampire, dark vampire, old vampire, redheaded vampire. So there's an actress in the movie named Hilary Halbert. She was actually the redheaded vampire in this movie. So if there was a redheaded vampire, that was her. And this is her only film credit. But I think she is an adult film actress because she is in the movie. She's in the True Hollywood Story about Savannah, who was a porn star who killed herself. A very famous porn star who unfortunately committed suicide in the 90s. Very beautiful porn star, too. Unfortunately, Hillary passed away in 2008.
All right, I'm back.
So I was talking about the redheaded vampire that we saw in the movie, the female, and this is her only film credit, but she was also in an True Hollywood Story about Savannah. I believe this is the True Hollywood Story regarding Savannah, the platinum blonde-haired porn star that committed suicide.
Yeah.
Very famous story because she was like, a lot of people loved her. She was, she was very talented in porn. And incredibly beautiful, but she unfortunately had horrible depression and she took her own life in the early 90s. And unfortunately, the red-haired vampire that was in this movie, she has also passed away in 2008.
Aw. That's sad.
At least she's not talking through her teeth like Pamela Anderson did in Barbed Wire.
True.
Don't call me babe. I'm going to talk like this the whole movie. Hey, Jango Fett, do you want to make
Can't
out?
open my mouth. Yeah, I know.
That was Jango Fett in that movie, right?
Yep.
Who, by the way, also, I couldn't believe it until I rewatched it. He's Aquaman's dad in Aquaman.
Yep. Yeah, I know. That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, no joke. The music in this movie was done by Joel Goldsmith, as in related to Jerry Goldsmith. Joel Goldsmith has also worked on such great productions such as Stargate, Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, Star Trek the Motion Picture, Star Trek First Contact, Stargate Universe, all of the Stargates, and Witchblade the TV series, which I'm currently covering on the Dead TV podcast. I was this close, and by this close because you're on Skype with me, so you can't really see, but this close, like a thimble away from having having Yancey Butler on my radio show and podcast for Witchblade, because she was excited to talk about Witchblade. She knew it was the 25th anniversary of the character. She had a couple movies that she wanted to promote, but unfortunately her father got very ill.
Oh no!
With what, I don't know.
Father is getting better soon.
Yeah, I don't know quite what her father was ill with, so I'm not going to speculate, but it was around the time the virus was getting crazy. And some early 90s graphics there. A lot of people
are getting sick from COVID, so hopefully if you're listening to this, you're not sick and you are good and healthy at home.
And if you are sick, I hope our commentary is helping you through your recovery, and I hope you are recovering.
Yeah.
There are people who have recovered, and in fact, I actually gamed with some people on PlayStation the other night who said that they both had it, and they were not jokey whatsoever. They definitely sounded very serious, so I had to take them for their word. They said that they're recovered, they're fine. They did run fevers. It did feel it was hard to breathe, but they didn't have to go to the hospital. They were just told to stay home.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. No, I think that most people are doing well that have had it. They are recovering, and so it's good.
Yeah, there are definitely more. Hold on, Amanda. Hold on a second. We got some
his wife had it.
Hold on a second. Just have you repeat that because we have some feedback interference. I'm gonna mute. Go ahead.
So I was just saying that I think that Justin Trudeau's wife actually had it, our prime minister. But she just recovered, so.
Good.
That's
Tom Hanks and his wife are back in the United States, and they're 100% healthy, they said.
That's good.
You can't lose Tom Hanks.
I know, right? That was like when Idris Elba also said that he had it. And I'm like, no, Idris Elba, you can't.
We still need you in the Marvel Cinematic Universe again.
I know. Come back to life.
How much you want to bet that the Thor movie ends with Jane Foster giving up her power to resurrect everyone who died of due to Thanos and everything else?
I think that is very possible.
I do too. I
think that everyone's going to come back. They're also now saying that Iron Man's probably going to come back, and I'm like, no deaths will be real.
No, and if you watch the Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Arrowverse crossover, everyone who died came back.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that everyone will come back eventually.
Oh, bondage. Yeah, right. Yeah, put those on.
Oh my.
And then she just turns around and she's just like, now spank me, Adam. Spank me.
Yeah, they still haven't got together, have they?
Nope. He just got that one kiss. Oh my God, she is. Oh, because she's worried that she's gonna bite him.
Oh.
That would be so bad.
She doesn't have an armband anymore, and I think her armband had like reserves of blood.
No, please don't bite me.
Oh my. Oh, there you go. We were right. This is about to happen.
In bondage too, which is like, you know. Wait, don't cut away. Come on. Damn it.
I've been waiting for the movie.
Hey, I always ask a woman before I make out with her, do you want the handcuffs on? Wait, we're not. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I forgot what podcast I'm on. Excuse me. Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Can.
I've met most of the cast of the Warriors, including that one actor who was in Dexter, and now he's the surrogate father to Black Lightning on Black Lightning.
Oh yeah.
Your holy father and protector.
Believe in me. Come on. Do it.
Yeah.
I dare you. I dare you to believe in me.
Victory or death! Victory or death! Cobra!
So-
La 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 la!
So obviously now he's been able to get all of the vampires. These are probably like Earth vampires now.
Right.
Some of these people that he made.
Oh, she is just like
Oh,
needing her heroin
she's feeling
fix.
Yeah. She's going into withdrawal pretty bad.
Oh, just
Oh, no.
open a vein for her. Did
Just like let her feed on you a little, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
bit. Right.
she'll totally reciprocate later on.
You'll probably be fine. Probably.
He's got such a Dracula cape on. Did you ever read the one-shot drawn by Jim Valiant, who does Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, one of the sexiest comic book characters out there right now? Vampirella Catwoman?
I did not.
Yeah, it's really good. They don't fight. They team up. They know they're both good girls, bad girls. It's actually the first appearance of
girls.
It's actually the first appearance of Panther.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second. Did she appear in the old Harris comic, the Warren comics?
She did.
Okay,
She did.
All right, so
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
let me rephrase that. This is that is the first modern day appearance of Panther.
yeah, it probably is. Yeah, because she was. That's why I thought she might be in this movie, because she was one of the original people that that Vampirella befriends when she comes to Earth.
What the hell was
Panther's
that?
like one of her OG besties. Oh my.
She's
She's got the red contact.
She goes running up to him and she's like, "No, but I mustn't." Ew, aren't you gonna wash your arm?
Do it. No, he's not gonna.
Oh, ew, he probably tastes all dirty.
Yeah, it's very important to wash your hands and your arms before being bit. See, now she is getting blood everywhere. This is what I expect from vampire bites. Unlike what Dracula was doing earlier.
Of course, the woman wears the fishnets in that big shot of all the
Of
cultists.
course.
Yeah. Snap, snap.
Yep.
So in the comic book Vampirella Catwoman, they have to team up to stop a panther creature from killing people, and they find out that the panther is, of course, Panther, and she is the bodyguard of the Penguin.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
Vampirella gets injured pretty badly, and Catwoman's like, "Well, I could go rip off a blood bank for you, but there's always the alternative." And she proceeds to roll up her glove.
Oh, wow.
But the cover, of course, to the comic book is so typical of Jim Valiant. It's got Vampirella on her hands and knees or whatever, and Catwoman above her, like twirling the whip around.
Oh, of course. How else is it gonna happen? You know what I mean?
Hey, no touchy.
Excuse me. Whoa, personal space, Dracula.
Non-consensual touching. Excuse me.
He's like, I see you left a little blood there for me on your face.
Do you think it would have been too much if Roger Daltrey grabbed her and like licked her face?
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, I don't know though. I feel like oh, there we go. Never mind.
Please make sure you get a some type of shot afterwards after kissing Roger Daltrey.
Right. Ooh, it was all a ploy.
Why does she have a gun?
He also caught that perfectly.
But why does she have a gun? Oh, the satellite disappears.
Sometimes you gotta bring a gun to a fang fight? I don't know.
Also, all of the vampire hunting people are wearing these, I don't even know what to call them, uniforms, but it's like all white back, you know? They couldn't... Why does a gun kill a vampire? What the hell?
Oh, because it's probably steak bullets. Remember I told you they have steak bullets.
Oh, God.
They're very tiny steaks. So powerful.
Look at the
These
costumes.
are the
Look at the white
vampire guys.
backs. Why are the
These are
backs
the
of the
vampire
costumes?
guys, right from the agency.
The vampire hunters, right? But why are all their backs white?
Because to try to blind vampires? Whoa. That was the craziest I just got shot reaction ever.
Adam's father right here has been wearing this cross around his neck, the cross hat, the cross shirt. When you went away for a few minutes, he went to into a chapel to pray to God.
Well, that's how you gotta prepare. He's all about the crosses, obviously. He's going the super holy route. Oh, there you go, light cannon. I knew we were gonna see that. If we didn't see that again, I was gonna be so disappointed.
Where's our nerd character that she saved at the beginning of the movie? I want more of that guy.
I don't know. I think that guy. I'm wondering if that guy was one of the creators. But also, she was created in the '60s.
That was definitely
it's
not one of the
90s.
creators then. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
oh
so-
God! What was that?
Oh, whoa.
What? I can't even pause the movie to freeze frame that terrible animation.
Oh, those are the fastest bats I've ever seen ever. Like, whoa.
Didn't they originally say that COVID-19 came from bats?
Yeah, well, it was snakes or bats, but I believe it's been confirmed as bats. It came from bat meat. I posted actually a picture for some merch that I'm going to potentially be working on after this is all over with, hopefully soon. It was me with like a bunch of bats. So one of my friends who's an artist drew it up for me. And there was someone that responded who said, what did they say? They were like, oh, be careful of the COVID-19, Amanda. All those bats. And I was like, hey, let's not hate on bats, though. Bats are still cool. I was talking to someone else about this the other day, and they were like, maybe that means that the vampire phase will finally be over, because now people won't like bats. And I was like, no, the vampires will never die. Vampires will always be cool.
Now, in Vampire Hunter D lore, are you familiar with Vampire Hunter D?
No, I don't think so.
The wars, the plague wars, the Third and Fourth World War had almost wiped out the human race, and the vampire lords came up to take their place.
Oh. That's what type of lore is that from? Like, what is the series?
Yeah.
Oh man. Whoa. It's like an even match.
What is the counter on your DVD player say?
I am at 120.51. And there's a lot of kicking and punching and shoving happening.
The classic.
With the cheesy sound effects.
Oh, but no. He's good.
And she's got the spear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he just stood there like a chump.
He really did. He just let that happen. Well, I think he's done now. How are you gonna...
Oh, and he's wearing a mask because he's got caught on fire. The fireproof costume that he's wearing, whoever this guy is. Look at that. You can clearly see the fireproof costume.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a Dracula Hammer movie, Scars of Dracula,
Whoa.
Dracula catches a spear being thrown at Christopher Lee, and then he gets set on fire when lightning hits him. Are they at the Hoover Dam? Is this where Megatron is buried from the original Transformer movie?
I think they might be. That was a really far way down, like how long he fell as well on fire. Oh, she got her necklace back.
Now I have to exposit dialogue. Voiceover.
Voiceover.
Name your favorite female and male vampire.
Female and male vampire. I can't name Vampirella.
You can. I mean,
Okay, well, male is Lestat, for sure.
Wow,
And
what
Rice
an abrupt
vampires.
ending.
Yeah, that was a very abrupt ending. She's like, I got the necklace. The end.
Just
And then
like
yeah, I don't know, female. I think I want to say Vampirella. I'm trying to think if there's someone in my mind that is more meaningful to me, but I think Vampirella actually might be. I mean, I guess we count her as a vampire, even if she's an alien. She's an alien vampire.
Right.
Depending
Oh, and then your favorite. Oh, so you said Lestat for your male.
Lestat for my male. Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite female vampire is Regine Dandridge from Fright Night Part 2. And my favorite male vampire, I gotta go with Angel.
Angel. All right. I like that.
Runners up would be Blade or for females, runner up. I'm sorry. Not so much a runner up, but she's just a close second behind, only because I've had her on my show. In fact, I've had both of these women on my show. I've had Julie Carmen on my show, who played Regine, and I've also had Julia Landau, aka Drusilla.
Oh, Drusilla's great, actually.
And she has a documentary coming out about vampires in media, television, movies, and she's co-producing it with Joss Whedon and Gary Oldman. Can't imagine what those two people have to do with vampires.
Speaking of great vampires, Gary Oldman is also up there as Dracula.
Okay, look at catering in the credits real quick. Catering, you name it.
You name it. Yeah, the other thing I was going to say is for runner-ups, I feel like I would say Claudia from Anne Rice Vampires as well, or Akasha.
Right there in the credits. Right there in the credits, real quick. It says best girl. What is a best girl?
I think a best girl is probably just like a best boy, but it was a girl that did it.
But what does that even mean?
A best boy, don't quote me on this because I'm normally on the other side of it. I'm not usually involved in production, but I believe it is something to do with your best boy involves sound, and I'm not sure if it involves the cables behind the sound or some kind of sound operation that's happening on set.
Okay.
So it's yeah, that's what you call it. I don't know why it's called that.
The boom operator's
I can't
name.
tell you that.
The boom's operator's nickname is Speedo.
But I was gonna say for runner-up for male vampires, I totally overshot Spike, who's also amazing.
Oh right, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Before and after the soul.
Before and after.
Oh, okay. So he did. That was performed by him. "Bleed for Me" by Roger Daltrey.
Did we find out who was playing the creator that was in the series?
Oh, you mean the kid that she saves?
Oh yeah, who was playing that kid?
Hold on a second.
I also want to know that.
I will go back to that IMDb. Publication of Harris Comics until it was Warren Comics until it was Dynamite Comics.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Quinn. The kid?
Quinn.
He had a weird name.
Quinn.
It was Quinn?
Quinn. Wasn't it Quinn?
It might have been Quinn. Oh yeah, this guy, Rusty Myers?
Yeah, that was him. He was also in Vegas Vacation, Pay It Forward, Ocean's 11, Silverado, and it's continued working today. Well, that's it for our extra long review commentary of the 1996 made-for-TV movie Vampirella, starring Talia Soto. I'd like to thank you for joining us for this extra long review. Amanda, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at VampX13, speaking of vampire things. and you can also find me on Ko-Fi as Amanda Does Cosplay and on TikTok as Amanda Does Cosplay. And I also have an OnlyFans now, which is also VampX13. So you can find me there as well.
What is an OnlyFans? Because I had a couple people asking me where your OnlyFans was on your interview when you came on my show on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, so anyone that wants to find my OnlyFans, another great way to find it is just go through my Instagram, and when you go through there, you will be able to find my OnlyFans through the link. If you click the link in my bio, you'll find that. An OnlyFans, what's on there? So basically, I do exclusive photo set previews on my OnlyFans. I do lots of like little mini photo sets that I take like around. I just got a light the other day, so like I did a photo set, posted a picture on my Instagram, and I did a little mini photo set just based off of that that picture and like me just playing with this new light that I got. And the other thing is that it gives you a direct line to me. So if you want to talk about comics or you want to just like chat or say hi or whatever, I check all of my messages and respond to them on OnlyFans. So it basically just gives you a more direct way to connect with the people that you really love. And lots of different creators use it for different things. So it just depends. I also do some pole dance as well. I love pole dance. And so I put some of my pole dance videos up on there. Because I feel like Instagram doesn't like my pole dance videos as much, even though it is a legitimate form of dance and is really hard to do. So it's very strange. But, Instagram is weird and the algorithm. So that's up there. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm also going to be doing comic book poll videos that will be exclusive to my OnlyFans as well. But I just need to get my space up and running and get stuff to my editor for that. So.
Awesome. And you can find me on Radio
Yeah.
Horror on Facebook and thatradiohorror@gmail.com. And all the other videos here on the Radio Horror YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you for checking out this new episode of Film Dungeon Commentary. I don't know what the next episode will be, but Amanda had a great suggestion with barbed wire.
Man, it would be fun. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
If you want
or
to do barbed wire, I will come and watch it with you.
all right, we will do barbed wire, but you also have to do Lady Death, which I think you'll